On today's episode, I twirl a cable. Then we add stickers. Oh yeah, and we added a winch. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the channel. My name is Sam. We're in my shop tonight. Okay, maybe it's his shop. It's Boone's shop, but he's let me borrow it from time to time. And we're down here trying to wrap up some projects. Well, not really wrap up, but we're trying to add some more stuff to the existing projects. You guys be with me on the fact it is difficult to actually finish a project because you always find something new to add to it. But for my 9812 valve, this thing is pretty much aiming to copy a truck I wish I had never sold, which was my 96. Literally looked identical to it, except for this one's got less miles now than what my 96 had, and it's got the 4-door, but I'm trying to make it look the same. Oh yeah, and it's got a 6-speed manual transmission in it that I added. But this here is the latest thing that I've added to this truck. It is, by definition, a Rennell bumper. But Rennell sold out to a company called Buckstop, which is, I believe they're in Oregon. I want my old truck to be remembered. And so my new truck pretty much is done up to look identical to it. Well, we're looking at this bumper here, and I'll be straight up honest with you guys. It looks a little boring. I'm not knocking the bumper, but I don't want to say it's missing some flair, but it's missing a couple things. First thing is the sticker. It did come with a Buckstop sticker on it, but they reached out to me and they said, hey, you want some Rennell stickers on there to, you know, authenticate the old truck so it looks like the old girl? And they sent some stickers. And then I got a big box to fill a bigger void in there. So let's open this box real quick. They sent me, what's this? Bad Cherry. Oh no, that's one of my hats. Yeah, Bad Cherry, bbeltandson.com. Order your hats. We got t-shirts, jackets, keychains, the works. Check that out. But anyway, back to the box they sent me. Sent me a fresh hat. There was a coffee mug thing in there, a tumbler, but I used it. But check this out. We got the stickers. So I have two trucks that have Rennells on it, and the other one is a white truck, and then this one's a red. So I think I'm going to put the red ones on here. But I want to say something right now before I go too far along into this video. By the way, we're installing a big old winch, if you guys didn't get that from the thumbnail or the title or any of that. But I want to talk about the stuff that I bring to the channel. Most every single thing that I do a video on, I reached out to that company and said, hey, I have a channel. I'm interested in possibly working with you guys, something that's beneficial for the both of us. What can we make happen? Because I don't want you guys getting the idea that people are just sending me stuff and I'm like, oh, free stuff. Let's make a video on it and smile no matter if I like it or not. I only put stuff on this channel that I like, that I actually have some faith in. Now, some stuff might be a little bit different than I expected, and chances are you can, pick up on the attitude that I have on it, or I just flat out say, this is a little bit, no. But as far as this bumper, it's got a different twist than what my old one had, but it's every bit of strong and true and everything that I was looking for in the bumper. And that goes for anything really that I put on this channel. I'm not buying junk just to make a video or getting free junk just to make a video. I want some good stuff to bring to the table to show to you guys to say, hey, Diamond C, look at them, Dodge. If somebody sent me a free Ford, we might have to go whistle and diesel on that thing, if you know what I mean. But let's go ahead and get cracking on this thing, put the stickers on there, and let's go ahead and open the winch before we go too far so you guys know what we're working with. Now, after I just said all that, saying I want good stuff on this channel, if you guys know this brand, you know where it comes from. Now, this is the third one of these 12K winches that I purchased from this outfit, and I bought this. They didn't give it to me, none of that. I've had no issues with this bad boy. Like every one of the trucks I have one on, it works great. So we're going to go ahead, after that long-winded intro, and install this winch. Look at that big hoss. Now I got the bumper that has a spot for the winch. We have to put a winch in there. So hopefully I'll be able to snake it in there. I think I have to take the condenser and pop it out of the way. But 4.5 minutes of an intro. Comment below if you guys made it through that and that wasn't too long-winded. I apologize. I had stuff to say. Let's start working on this. Unfortunately, light bars are not here yet. I know, light bars. What are you going to do? I got spots for them. Light bars will get there. Done deal. Yeah, that looks so much better. So to get the winch in there, I'm gonna take the condenser, pop its 4 bolts off, and hopefully I can shank it out of there. Shouldn't be that big a deal. Hopefully it'll fit. That's my whole thing without having to take the bumper. Like I said, I have 2 of these 12,000 pound Badland. 2 of these winches already on, one's on in my other Rennell bumper and the other one's on a receiver hitch. But both of those you had to put a nut on the inside, and then it was a pain in the butt trying to get the nut to stay in one spot and then thread it in, but they already put they tapped that, drilled and tapped, so you can just thread it straight into the housing of it. Oh, come on, baby, fit. I'll be back. Okay, this might be another failure. I took the line tensioner off. I don't want to take this bar off the center, because if I take that off, then all the cable unspools. Great success. Cool, we got it in. Didn't have to take the bumper off, just had to take that thing off. Older winches didn't have this. That keeps the cable tension tight on the spool. And you can see it already loosened up a little bit. So I'm gonna go and throw the nuts in there, or the bolts. Got it in there. Look at that. Truck already looks a little bit more stout. I'll be honest, I only use a winch like once a decade, but when you don't have it and you need it, boys, it was worth the 300 bucks and the probably hour and a half it'll take me to install it. Just to use it every once in a while. It'll be worth it. All right, I can cut that thing, put my lead down. Not gonna lie, I feel in danger. Gotta take this spring and rehook it. Holy shit. What have I got myself into? Probably should have just taken the bumper off. I ain't gonna get it without gloves. I got it. Oh my God, I got it. Dear Heavenly Father, this one's on backwards. Oh my goodness. Be honest, hope you guys saw it. I did not think I could do that. I had very little hope, but I did it. We need to put our control box right there. So we need to get the line down there. Oh, money shot. Boom, boom. Now the box connects to those 2 bars back there. I got everything in there. That box is very difficult to get snapped onto those bars, but it's not going anywhere. It does have 2 safety screws. Those are the ones I found, that I lost and found. They will hold it on there, but man, that thing is not going anywhere. I was mistaken. There's actually 4 wires. You got the 3 up here that I stated before, and then you got to have, probably more important than power, you got to have the ground. So the ground to the battery, and then you got a little tiny ground for the box. That goes on a little bolt stud on the back side there. You guys can't really see too much of that, so I'm just gonna hit it up. You guys can't see too much of that, so on the count of 3, installed. 1, 2, and 3. We're done. Except for we gotta put the circuit breaker in and hook it up to the old battery. Already got the lines ran in here. Oh, perks of having a 22-year-old truck. Okay, what I'm gonna do is just put another nut on the outside of that right there. And I can only actually find one nut, so for the ground, I'm just gonna self-tap this thing into the battery. That normally works just fine. You don't have to worry when you do that. Just nice, good self-tapper. Make sure you get the insulated one for roofing. No problem. Don't do that. Don't do that. Get yourself another nut and hook it up to the battery lead like you should. Boom, boom. Okay, we're in business. If anybody's going to comment, I don't have a strap on my battery. I took it off for this video. It's right there on the ground. Catalog. Ugh. We are all installed. I put the handle underneath that circuit breaker so that it doesn't rub on the battery. Everything's good and tight. Got my Bluetooth strap on my battery. All the lines ran down there. Oh, forgot one important thing. Where's it at? Installed. All right, let's test her out. On my old 96, I had a 9K Warren winch in there. I used it a couple of times. This is where I tell you guys my redneck story. Actually, it wasn't with that truck, but the Warren, I had, my winch controller got stolen out of the toolbox in the back of the truck. And that proves to be an expensive mistake, having the Warren winch disappearing. But there's, what do you call this, a Badland? Badlands are pretty easy to get a new controller for it, so let's test her out. But the one time that I used my winch on my 04, which would be the same winch that's here, this thing plugs right into that box, if you guys aren't familiar. Come on, baby. By Braille. There we go. I'll show you guys this and then I'll tell you the redneck story. So, you got your neutral. That puts the line that's free spin. And the whole spool spins out, no problem. Then to go, you got to put her back in gear. So, in. See that tensioner? Those two big springs. Holds that bad. Oh, come on, magnet. Holds that line tight so that the windings doesn't go out of control and get all annoying. Thing even fits in the fair lead. Look at that. Anyway, so the one time I actually had to use the winch that was full on serious, like, oh crap. I've had to pull a couple people out, just kind of because I had a winch, I used it. But this one time, I was working at this ranch, and it was before I had any of these tractors that we got now. I mean, we didn't have Kubota tractor at the ranch. We didn't have nothing. What we had, maybe I'll find a photo for you, but it was this old Jeep on 40-inch tires. And we came up with the idea for this brush pile that we're going to use this old refrigerator and run the winch line around the fridge and use that thing to push the brush into this burn hole. Worked great. It actually worked really good. I don't have any videos or anything of that, but what I ended up doing was I drove down there and I drove the front differential of the Jeep into the fridge, and it buckled the suspension and pointed the front drive shaft. It got it in such a nasty spot that it broke the front yoke. And that Jeep was so light, if it didn't have four-wheel drive on this hill that I was working, the thing wouldn't move at all. even with the rear end being locked, it wouldn't back up one bit. And I wasn't about to take my truck down there. So what I did, I went down there, parked my truck on safe ground, drug the winch line out, hooked up to it, and just sat back and hit the button and winched that son of a gun all the way up to safety. But there was a fire going that I was pushing it into. I gotta make that clear. There was a fire that I was pushing brush into. So there was a fire in front of the Jeep with a refrigerator separating it. It was 100% redneck engineering right there. I'll jerry rig some stuff, but I don't like to say I rednecked them too much. I mean, redneck will get her done, but you know, that was the one time I really had to use the winch. But so far so good. As far as the times I've needed to use a winch, they worked great each and every time. Pulling a two-wheel drive truck up off the lawn just for fun kind of jokes. But to complete the image that I'm going for with this truck, I needed to have a winch in it. Obviously it's got a space for it. The other trucks I have it set up so that I can, or my 08 really, I have the receiver hitch on the front so I can take the winch from the bumper and put it on the trailer, and it makes life, you know, easier because I don't have to have two winches, and I don't have to carry around this. I don't know how much it weighs, probably 100 pounds. But this one's installed. It's not going anywhere. Can't take it out if I wanted to without taking everything apart. Miss Taylor just showed up. What do you think, lady?
Looks good.
It gives the bumper a little bit more taste.
It does.
And then I put the red stickers, the Rennells on there.
Classy.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
We got waiting on the, I couldn't find 6-inch round lights to go there, but I did order a light bar for here, and I found 5s for that. And I'm trying to tie into the factory fog light switch, which is kind of difficult on the 98 and 99 trucks, but we got a source. We got a source. Hope you guys enjoyed this video so far. We are getting closer and closer to making this truck every bit what my old one was. Maybe I'll hook my intercooler back up and make sure that thing don't fly off down the road. Comment below what winches you guys are running. I'll admit it's a Harbor Freight winch, but for the amount of times I use it, it's always been there, and it's way cheaper. And I like them. They got a whole black pattern now. But anyway, guys, like this video, subscribe to the channel, like for Taylor. We'll see you guys. Bye.